Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome to another ASG Golf video. We're doing the 70s 90s tour live at the Par 3 Challenge. Match play month, it's April, so that means 128 guys who have not won a tournament in January, February, and March. In all 4 tours, they play each other. Winner of this bracket tournament goes to the tournament champions at Augusta. If you take second, don't worry about it. You go to what they call a wildcard tournament, in which you can get your way in the back door. 1 of the 6 wildcards per tour. We have 4 gentlemen here. We have Dave Hill, Tom Weiskopf, Greg Norman, and Dave Stockton. It's not that bad. It's kind of stacked, if you ask me. We went through those 4 guys in their real life stats and all that. Weiskopf, I knew won major. Greg Norman, I knew won a major. I didn't know Dave Stockton won one. And Dave Hill was close a couple times. But anyway, yeah, Dave Hill, known as a guy who kind of has the Don Rickles style of Dan Panicon and Medee. Tom Weiskopf, 4-time Masters runner-up without winning one. Greg Norman, who had the 54-hole lead at every major in 1986, lost all but the British Open. And Dave Stockton, who won a few majors. So we go through the bracket. Make groups, yep. How did these guys all qualify? Dave Hill took on Andrew McGee in the first round, tight till the 15-16 when he won. Then on Tuesday against Neil Coles, we kind of looks like Rex Murphy, a Canadian politician, all that. Coles won a few holes, but it was TLTL. On Wednesday, Dave took on Nick Price, who was an icon, and all that. Price could not take the lead on Hill, no matter what he did. On Thursday against Hubie Green, it was tight to the end. Only 5 of the 18 holes were won by somebody. And yesterday against J.C. Sneed, he actually battled tooth and nail. Dave Hill has actually not had the blowout win as you think he has. His last 3 wins have been by 1. Tommy Weiskopf, icon. He beat Dean Beeman. Beeman had a great back 9 after being down by 4 with 7 to play. He won 4 of the next 6 holes to tie, but Weiskopf won on 18. On Tuesday against Lon Hinkle, he did decently against him, but won in the end. Wednesday against Tom Shaw, he was down by a few after the first 9 holes, but the back 9 first. A blowout only gave up 1 hole, winning 7 of the first 9 holes. And then yesterday against Gibby Gilbert, he kind of rocked the front 9. Greg Norman, the Great White Shark as they call him, he beat Howard Twitty by 2. Made it interesting, but Norman kept putting the foot on the pedal. On Tuesday against Eichelberger, who I thought was a baseball pitcher, but he's not. Eichelberger was up by 3 through the first 6. But Norman put on his momentum. Wednesday against Paul Stankowski, it was close, but in the end, Norman won on 15 and 16. And then he beat J. Don Blake by a bit, knocked him out. And then yesterday against Chris Perry, he started off fast, and Perry could not catch up. And then Dave Stockton, how has he gone? Where is Dave Stockton on this list? Oh, there he is. He beat David Faraday, the guy from CBS. 3 straight wins on 14, 15, 16. Saved his butt. He won by 3 or 2. Roger Maltby, decent start for Stockton. Maltby did tie it up on 17, but lost on 18. So he beat another famous golf commentator. And he did it again against Peter Oosterhuis, beating him by 3 to start with. So BBC got his back. But Miller Barber, not known for his commentary, he won the first hole of the thing, if you will, but Stockton won 5 more. And then yesterday against Marco Mira, couldn't let Marco Mira out of his sights. Of course, Marco Mira had that 29-hole match against Ian Baker Finch, which is, I think, a record. I think the second longest it was a 24-hole match. But yeah, can you imagine 11 holes being tied? And yeah, you will see the whole entire O'Meara Baker Finch thing at a later date. Summary-wise, so let's go. Both teams in. We have all the holes. First up is Dave Hill at Calamity or Portrush. Oh, it's in the chasm. Into the chasm. Weiskopf up, and he's done well. I don't think he needs to panic because Hill needs to get out of the chasm, which he does, and does okay. Weiskopf for the hole. Oh, she my. Well, Hill needs his par putt. Eddie can't put it down. If he got that, it would have been a tie hole, but Weiskopf will win. On the 2 at Royal Lake. Up and over. It's at the right-hand side, so you might have to go between the two auspicious bunkers. Dave Hill going for it. Bink. Hit that bunker. Weisskopf's going to putt. He's going to lag more than 40 feet. He will do the smart thing and lag. And Dave Hill fumbles that play. The par. Oh, she my. He had double fives. Weisskopf to the hole. Oh my gosh, he couldn't convert. He moved up by 2 right after that. All right. There's Greg Norman and Dave Stockton. Norman, nice shot. That's not bad. And I know you can't hear like applause at Royal Portrush. That's not by some sound fault. It's by design because technically that course doesn't really have claps. Stockton. Holy crap. He had a 1 in 12 chance and he made it. I didn't expect that. Norman needs his putt and he misses. How the heck did Dick Stockton pull? No, Dave Stockton. Dick Stockton. I don't think he's related to Dick Stockton, the broadcaster, for many years. Weisskopf up and over at the postage stamp, the famous British Annatroon. Dave Hill. Yeah. Ooh. Right. Hill, pitch shot up and oh, that's why they call it the postage stamp. Because you get licked. Ha 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 ha. For the hole. No. Hill for bogey. Makes it. I think Weisskopf gets a goal. Yes, he's close. Stockton on 2. Up and we'll do the unconventional cutting. Norman. Probably going right at the hole position. Not really. Stockton, 73 feet. He's going to lag it. Ready? Fluke. Bogey fluke. Ah, a mistake. Bogey. Off by a foot. Stockton for the hole. One Newman's ball coming behind. Stockton up by 2. Now North Berwick. One of the oldest courses around. The third oldest to get through the original fairways. Only St. Andrews and Musselburgh. Dave Hill can't get the angle. Can't get the angle. Hill up and whoa, that's not good. Weisskopf. Okay. Hill for par. Overshot. Weisskopf for the hole. Ah, he had a chance to put some more distance. They didn't. On to 3 as opposed to stamp. Stockton up and oh my god, another Facebook. That wind was pushing down on him. Holy shit. I didn't expect that. Well, Greg Norman, can he make birdie? No, he missed by a foot. Stockton taps in and now he's 3 up. You can see a couple blowouts. Weisskopf and Portugal over everything. Oh, that's water. I would never guess. He'll just stay dry. He hits the bunker, but he stays dry. So that's the first break of the day for Mr. Hill. By the way, Dave Hill has no ASG tournament wins and all that. Weisskopf has 2 of them, and so does Norman. Stockton doesn't have any for double. Too much. I think Hill's would have been safe anyhow. Yep. Music. So Hills cut the deficit down. On to 4. Stockton up and over. And oh, that looks slant. Yeah, it looks like it's a massive slant. Norman Lear. Up and over. And that's okay. Pitch up for Gregory. Nope. For par. Misses by inches. Misses by inches. Does that rhyme? I don't know. Norman for the hole. Donuts. You had a chance to cut that deficit down. This time in that matchup, we have a tie hole. 1 to 6 in Australia. Kingston Heath, known for being over the green. Slide down. Oh, nice. Hill knew it. Weisskopf. Oh, I don't know. Weisskopf. Try to get in. Oh! Yeah. Hill for the hole. Ooh! It's high. This hill has back to tie the match. Down to 5. It's a bunker. Norman. Well, he's in the green, so he's perpendicular. Get close, get close, get close, get close, get close, get close. For the hole. Oh, by 3 feet. Brutalman. Stockton. Well, he botched. And Norman will take the hole. Hill on 7 in Hawaii, where the wind Hill was close to the pin. Weisskopf. Yeah, usually that hole is hard to get. For the hole. Overshot. Weisskopf for par. We needed that time. The hole's tied. Greg Norman. Up and over, and he knows this like the back of his hand. He should. From Australia, Stockton. And he will be overshot too. Time for the pitches. Big pitch, and that rolls away. Norman's going to putt. Why not? He's out by 4. Stockton needs to putt. He can't flip it. Norman will take the hole and touch Stockton down to 1. On to 8. Pebble Beach. The American postal stamp. And he's right to the back. He's breaking back today. And Hill will be getting no distance. Weisskopf. You got no distance. And closer in essence. For the birdie. Off by inches. Hill for the hole. Aw, really? Good. Look at that. Norman to Hawaii. Over everything. No. Stockton. Well, there's a pitch shot. And he's within like 5 feet. 4 yards. For the hole. Overshot by 3. Norman for par. No. Stockton can win the hole. He does. Going back to 2. JV Hill. Remember, this is the Pacific hole. Well, that's not bad. He was close. All right. I think he has to draw back. No, they both have to go. All right. I thought he was closer to the pin that he could have went for 220. Well, the good news for Weisskopf is he kind of knows. Oh, no, he's on the second layer. Why was he in second layer? I thought Dave Hill was closer. I don't know. Weisskopf should be the cap. And here comes Stockton. Up and over, and Norman. Birdie. Too much for the hook. Good shot by Norman. Weisskopf on Pine Valley. And too much. Hill. Well, Hill and Weisskopf. Hill won on 5 and 6. Weisskopf 1, 3, 9. If you must know. Good shot there. Weisskopf. Par. How did he do that? He only won 9 shots. He'll better make this shot. Good thing he did. Weisskopf was about to go up by 2. On the... All right. All right. Norman kind of knows what his predecessors did. Or he thought he did. Stop. Jesus, Murphy. This hole should be illegal. Because it's like almost... oh my! Stockton almost got it in 6. He would have won the hole. I think he's going to win the hole. Yeah, he's going to win the hole. Nice shot. Fantastic. after 9. On to Kemper. Weiskopf trying to avoid water. He does. And he does. Dave Hill. And the bunker. For the hole. Off by 1. Forward. Norman and Stockton. Well, Norman won on 5, 6, 8. Stockton won 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. So only the fourth hole has had a tie. Stockton up and on the dance floor, but he's wide. Norman.
All right.
Wow. Not even close. And that's a terrible shot. Skimming, 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 skimming. Oh, no. Par. Damn it. For the hole. Stockton. Down 3 up. Get Stockton. No. I knew I would say that again. Weiskopf at the bottom part of the field. So you gotta get over the water and don't shoot too much. Hill. Whoopsies. That's gonna kill anytime. For the hole, 48 feet. I think he's okay. Yeah, he's like, I think I'll be okay for the hole. He is. Weiskopf is 3 up. So we could see a couple of blowouts. Stockton, just stay dry. That's water? I never would have guessed. Norman, just stay dry. He does. I mean, you can't make mistakes like that for Dave Stockton. Damn it, that's the first time I said it. For Stockton, you can't make these mistakes time after time after time after time after time after time after time. Because you're up by 3 with 8 to play. You don't want to give your teammate a shot. One shot. And Greg Norman at the 15. Patterson, you gotta get over the water. He does, and up there. Dave Hill. For birdie. Hill's gonna putt. You have to. Weiskopf. Too much. Okay. Weiskopf is gotta get over the water. He does. That's what Norman had to do. Stockton. Does. Draw back. He's like, draw back. No. And a shot. For the hole. Well, you got a chance to take it to the pin by 3, but it's a tie anyway, so he doesn't lose any points. Weiskopf on 14, Wingfoot. There. Dave Hill. Up and over, and draws 2 minutes. For birdie. Off by 2. Weiskopf for the hook. No, you tried to go up by 4 and put keep back for soul. Norman over the water, yes, but not enough distance. The wind is pushing down. Stockton. Ooh, that looks like when it was putting, he was like, oh, he's gonna miss the water. He's gonna hit the water. No, he won't. Birdie. Off by 3. Stockton for the hole. Off by 2. Okay, go par. Tap tap. Let's go on 15. Up and nice roll, about 15 feet. Hill. And that roll is going to put it all the way into the bunker. I was like, what the fuck? To be honest with you, what the fuck? For par. Let's go, 15 feet for the match. Oh, what a miss. He still has a golden chance, but people iced it and not needed to go to 16, 17, and 18. Here's Norman. 114. Up in there, and if only, Michael. Up and over. Birdie. Out by 4. Norman for the hole. Aw, he had a chance to cut that deficit down. That's a tie. On the Kiowa. Well, Weisskopf is at the point he doesn't have to win any holes. You just can't lose them. And he's up there. Dave Hill. For birdie. And he missed. Weisskopf for the match. Tom Weisskopf says that was a little too easy. I'll say. Greg Norman. No one knows. Everyone knows. Look out. Look out. Oh, man. Stockton's like, how did he get that through? And he probably wishes it was in. But because if it was in, Stockton would have been 2 up to 3 to go and not 1 up to 3. Norman. Over the water. Stockton. No. Oy vey. Stockton's just like, is that in? Oh, that would have been perfect. For the hook. Now we're tied on the 17 at Sawgrass. We'll go to Sawgrass and Augusta for sure. Nope. Stockton, just stay dry. Oh my gosh, he was within inches of staying dry and taking the lead. Oh, boy, Stockton, that's a blow opportunity for the hole. Oh, yeah. Now we're tied when if you win this hole, you win the match. If you don't, we go to the playoff. Norman, lovely, Stockton, bunker, Buster, Norman for the match. Oh, vexing. He'll. He says Stockton hits far putt. Guess what? We go to extra holes. It's like, what the heck? We'll talk about that later. Norman leads off on 1. Yeah. Stockton. Pitch shot. Nice try. For the match. Puts it down, and Dave Stockton does survive after all. Attaboy. So Dave Stockton takes on Tom Weisskopf, the Battle of the 70s, coming up tomorrow. Yeah, we have the Battle of the 70s tomorrow. That's not the one. So the Battle of the 70s tomorrow. And the second, sorry. Shush. So yeah, so Weisskopf and Stockton win. Here are the line scores. Well, Dave Hill made it all square. He never had the lead. Weisskopf on the back 9 screwed him over. And Norman also never had a lead. Stockton started off fast 3 holes 1. It was a good battle, but then he fumbled on 15, 16. Fortunately for Hill, he won the first playoff hole. That would have been a massive joke job. I know what you're thinking I was saying. Anyway, so you have Weisskopf at Stockton. Weisskopf looking for his 3rd tournament win, and Stockton looking for win number 1. What's important is Weisskopf was 2nd last month at Sawgrass. So if Weisskopf loses, then that's a 2nd runner-up finish. He does get a little bit of a help in the wild card series if he wins, but of course, he has to win the tournament. Well, if Weisskopf wins over Stockton, then that means his 2nd place finish will be erased. So we'll have 6 out of 11 chance instead of 6 out of 12. So yeah, that's what happens. And Weisskopf will be looking to win number 3 on the tour. Stockton will be looking for win number 1. And then, of course, we'll set up 70s, 90s for May. We will. Anyway, what you have time to do.